Hello everybody, in this video we're going to be ranking every single LEGO Spongebob set ever made. Now I think like a lot of people growing up, I was obsessed with SpongeBob when I was a kid. I remember one time I actually had a SpongeBob themed birthday party where my parents bought me like season 1 on DVD and I literally watched the entire season in one day. That was my birthday party. Looking back, it was a little bit sad, but I enjoyed it at the time. So it's certainly a theme and a franchise that I genuinely love. And it's really fun to take a look back at all these sets. Now the theme started all the way back in 2006. Now in total we only got about 14 proper sets, with most being inspired by the earlier seasons, with lots of great references. There's tons of great builds and minifigures, and some which are, well, quite horrifying. So,
are you ready, kids?
Unfortunately, coming in last place, we have Build-A-Bob. Now, this was a part of the original 2006 wave, and like the name suggests, is a brick-built SpongeBob, which surprisingly, I think it actually looks pretty good, especially for almost 20 years ago. And considering how horrifying some of the newer buildable minifigures are, they actually did a really good job with this. So it captures the likeness really well, with some really fun building techniques. Now, he was only 444 pieces, and was a really great price per part ratio. So it's a really solid build. He also had different facial expressions for the mouth, which is a really great little touch. And he also has a fully detailed interior, where he actually has Plankton controlling him. As this is based on the episode, I think it might actually be the first Plankton episode where he takes control of SpongeBob to steal the Krabby Patty. So definitely not a bad set, it's a lot of fun, and genuinely quite a good build, especially for 2006. Now there is a few issues with the proportions, like the arms and feet look a little bit weird. But other than that, it's a solid set, and a good way to start the list off. And next up, we have Heroic Heroes of the Deep, which is a fantastic name. So in this set, we get SpongeBob and Patrick as superheroes, which are two really great minifigures, amazing printing. I love having a unique variation of the main characters, although I do kind of wish they were in the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy outfits, as that would be a really great reference to the TV show. In terms of build, we get the Boatmobile, which is a great name. This is a really fun, simple build, but I think it looks really good. I love the color scheme used, and we do also get Plankton, who's just a 1x1 stud. We have a really great face print on it. Now he has a small little mech build, and he's actually holding the Krabby Patty formula there, which he has stolen, so it's up to SpongeBob and Patrick to save the day and get the formula back. So a really fun set, which is a really good price. I love the unique variations of SpongeBob and Patrick. Alright, our next set is another newer set from the same wave. We have Glove World. Now Glove World is such an iconic part of the SpongeBob, I guess, lore. Now this was another great cheap set with 169 pieces. Now Glove World is pretty much their main amusement park in Bikini Bottom. We get a small Ferris wheel which we can set all the gang on, which you can actually rotate around, which is a really fun feature. And we do also get an ice cream vendor, as well as the entrance bar. So now this is just another great small cheap set. And the reason why it's a little bit higher on the list is because the minifigures are amazing. We get SpongeBob, who pretty much comes in every single set. We do also get the Ice Cream Man, which is a brand new exclusive minifigure. And we do get a variation of Patrick, who's covered in ice cream, which is another great variation. But this set is actually the cheapest way to get a Sandy minifigure. And because of that, I put it a little bit higher on the list, as she's quite a rare figure to get. So overall, another really fun smaller set with some really great minifigures, especially the Sandy. And next up, we have SpongeBob's Emergency. So the build for this set, we get the Bikini Bottom Hospital, which I believe first appeared in the Studs episode, which is where SpongeBob doesn't want to go to the hospital, and Sandy and Patrick fight about it, I believe. Now the hospital build is really simple, but it actually managed to capture the look of the show pretty perfectly from the outside. Now it is pretty basic, but honestly it's a really solid build, and it does have an interior. Unfortunately, though, as some of these sets are so old, it's really hard to get high quality pictures of them. But we do get a front desk and then a hospital bed, and some more medical supplies. And we do also get an underwater ambulance, which Patrick can drive, although I'm not too sure I trust him with that. So the set was 236 pieces, so a really good price per part ratio. And we do get some really nice minifigures. We get an exclusive variation of SpongeBob with the bandage on. We get Patrick, and then we get the Fish Doctor, who's a really fantastic minifigure. So another solid cheap set. And it's always fun to expand Bikini Bottom. Alright, up next we have the Krusty Krab Adventures, which was the second Krusty Krab made, which is quite a bit of a downgrade from the original one. Now the actual build of the Krusty Krab is pretty good, but unfortunately though, it loses the shell sign outside, which is one of the most iconic parts of the Krusty Krab, so that is disappointing. As well, the interior is also lacking, where we really only get a Krabby Patty stand and a safe for Mr. Krabs. So unfortunately there's no cashier stand for Squidward, nor is there a grill for SpongeBob to make the Krabby Patties on. It does however come with the Krabby Patty mobile from the movie, which is a really fun build, and that's my favorite thing about this set. So now, once again, this was another amazing price. And in terms of minifigures, we do get an exclusive SpongeBob and Patrick, as well as Mr. Krabs, who, like Sandy, is pretty rare to come by, so a really great minifigure to get. Now, as the Krusty Krab is so iconic, this set is a little bit higher on the list. But unfortunately, it's a little bit of a downgrade and a disappointment compared with the original one. And coming up next, we have one of the last sets to ever be released back in 2012. We have the Flying Dutchman. So just like pretty much every set in this theme, it's an amazing price per part ratio with 241 pieces. And the build for this, we get a small pirate island and a cannon, as well as the Flying Dutchman, which is certainly less impressive than the TV show version, but it's still a fun little build for the price. So, and then inside the code, we do actually get some buried treasure, which I believe is the Dutchman, so it's probably based on the episode where Mr. Crab goes crazy trying to find the treasure. Actually, speaking of that, it would have been amazing to also get a Pirate Captain Mr. Krabs minifigure as well. And in terms of minifigures, we get a variation of SpongeBob and Patrick in pirate uniforms, which are really cute. I love SpongeBob's pirate hat. So 2 really nice variations of the characters. And we do also get the first and only Flying Dutchman minifigure, who's a really fantastic one. He has amazing printing on the torso and his hat piece, as well as he actually has a glow in the dark face, and the face print is perfect. Although it does look a little bit weird with the beard printed onto the torso, but it's probably the best they could have done. So another fantastic small set, a really fun build with the Pirate Crib and the Dutchman, and 3 great minifigures, especially the exclusive Flying Dutchman himself. And as it was a part of the final wave, it's kind of nostalgic and sad to see, as this is where the theme ended, unfortunately. And next up, we have a set from 2007. We have Mrs. Puff's boarding school, which is probably one of the most iconic locations in SpongeBob other than the Krusty Krab, Chum Bucket, and all of their houses. So in this set, we get an amazing Mrs. Puff's boarding school build, but the tower looks great as well as the actual classroom. It's incredibly well made and looks super accurate to the TV show. Then the main play feature for this set is the racetrack. And as you can see, it comes with a few obstacles like a fire loop, as well as a wall to smash through, and a start and finish line. So a really simple build, but has a lot of fun and playability to this set. And SpongeBob's car also has a play feature where you pull it back, it will actually go forwards. So you can actually run the obstacle course as SpongeBob to get his driver's license. Then as we can see, the SpongeBob minifigure actually has an antenna on the top, which is where Patrick is controlling him, which is a really fun Easter egg to another episode of the TV show. So overall, I think this is a really great set. You get a great build which expands Bikini Bottom with a boating school, and you also get a fun obstacle course. This probably has the most fun play feature of any of these sets, and you do also get 3 great minifigures including Mrs. Puff, who only comes in one other set. So overall, another great SpongeBob set. And up next on the list, we have another iconic location, probably the 3rd most iconic, and that would be the Chum Bucket. So this, of course, is Plankton's own restaurant to rival the Krusty Krab. And taking a look at the build, I think it actually looks really good. Pretty much like all these sets, it managed to capture the aesthetic of the TV show. But unfortunately, I think the facade is a little bit too small. I wish it curved around the sides a little bit more, as it's quite a flat looking build. But with that though, I think it's solid. It looks like it does in the TV show. And I also love the hand above it as well. We do get a fully detailed interior. But unfortunately though, as his set is so old, I can't actually find pictures of that. However, inside we get a build for Karen, which is his computer. I think is it his girlfriend at some point? But anyway, it has Karen as a computer. We also get a machine to trap SpongeBob, and we get a few of Plankton's robot army, including a brick-built robot SpongeBob, which is based on an actual episode, which once again is another really great reference and a really cool build. Overall, another solid set, which was a really good price. We get some really nice minifigures. We get an exclusive SpongeBob. We of course get a Plankton, and we get some nice robots as well as Karen. So it's great to expand Bikini Bottom with one of the most iconic locations from it. Right, up next, we have probably the hardest 2 to rank as they're quite interchangeable, but I will explain my logic as I go. So, next up, we have Bikini Bottom Undersea Party, which is one of the last sets to ever be released back in 2012, and also one of the biggest SpongeBob sets ever made. So, the builds for this set, we get SpongeBob's house as well as Squidward's house, both of which look really good. 2 really nice builds, as well. They do have some additional stickers on them for the party theme. They both also have a really great interior. For SpongeBob, we get his bed build as well as the bowl for Gary, and then some stickers around. My favorite is definitely the frame picture of Patrick above the door. That's really cute. And then taking a look at Squidward's, at the top floor, we get the art station with 2 of his paintings, which are 2 great stickers. And at the bottom, we have him practicing his clarinet with a really great music note sheet there. So 2 pretty solid interiors. Then we get a bunch of party decorations. We get a DJ stand and some speakers. We get a cocktail bar. We also get a seesaw and then a spinning carousel. And in terms of minifigures, we get an exclusive variation of pretty much all the characters. We get SpongeBob and Patrick. We also get Mrs. Puff, who's a really rare minifigure, and it's great to see her again. And then we get Squidward, who is by far and away the improved version, as he has the new head mold, which is perfect for the character and isn't horrifying like the original one. So now this is a really great set. You get some really good minifigures, as well as you get the 2 fan favorite builds of SpongeBob and Squidward's house. Now, if you prefer, you could also not put the stickers on and just have the standard version of their houses. So that's quite a nice option. So overall, a really solid set with some really fun, unique variations of the houses as well as the minifigures. Alright, next up, we have Good Neighbors at Bikini Bottom. So this once again is based on SpongeBob's house, but unfortunately this one no longer includes Squidward's house, but it is lacking the additional stickers, which I kind of prefer having the standard version of the house. We do get more SpongeBob's interior with the bed, as well as his TV. Then we get a grill to make some curry patties, as well as a sun lounge of Squidward, as well as Patrick in a car, and SpongeBob has a bubble machine, I believe. Sometimes minifigures, we get all the 3 main characters, and this time they're just in their normal clothes and not in the party outfits. And we do also get Squidward with the amazing new head mold. Now the reason why I prefer this one a little bit more is just because I prefer their default looks. It kind of came down to if I could only get one set, I'd rather get the definitive version of SpongeBob, Patrick and Squidward, as all 3 look perfect here. As well as a really good build and another really great price. And I think if this set actually included Squidward's house as well as Patrick's house, this would probably be my favorite SpongeBob set of all time. Alright, coming in 4th place, we have the Bikini Bottom Express. So now in terms of these smaller vehicle-based sets, this is definitely my favorite. The Bikini Bottom Express is such an iconic vehicle from SpongeBob, and it's just such a fun design here. They managed to recreate it perfectly in LEGO form. We get a great bus build which has a fully detailed interior, where we can sit down Patrick and SpongeBob. We also get a ticket station with a ticket for SpongeBob, as well as a bus stop. In terms of minifigures, we get SpongeBob and Patrick in their normal outfits, and then we get the bus driver, who's an exclusive minifigure. So overall, this was just a really great small set. You get a great build and some fantastic minifigures. Okay, now entering the top three, coming in third place, we have Rocket Ride. Now this is based on Sandy's rocket from one of my favorite episodes from the original series, where SpongeBob and Patrick believe they've gone to the moon and they just start kidnapping all Bikini Bottom residents. So we get a really fantastic rocket build, which like all these sets, looks really accurate to the TV show. It has a really nice interior with some controls as well as some stickers on the wall. Nothing too crazy, but I think it looks really good for the time. Then we also get a rover for Sandy, which is capturing jellyfish. And we do also get a boarding plank and some more additional jellyfish. So in terms of minifigures, we get SpongeBob and Patrick in their space uniforms, which are really accurate to the TV show, which I really love. These are probably my favorite variations. Then the set also came with the first ever Sandy minifigure, who is pretty much perfect. The head mold is great. So overall, a fantastic set. The rocket build looks amazing. I love all three minifigures, as well as I love the episode, so I'm definitely biased. All right, coming in second place, we have an original 2006 set. We have the first ever Krusty Krab. Now this set is so nostalgic. I was obsessed with this set as a kid. I never had it, but I always wanted it. We get a really great Krusty Krab build. Obviously, it is pretty simple and lacking, but for almost 20 years ago, they did a really good job of it. And this one also has the Krusty Krab shell sign outside, and just looks a lot better in my opinion. We also get a dumpster in the back as well as an enter sign. And in terms of the interior, we get the grill for SpongeBob to be making Krabby Patties, which I love. And we also get Squidward's cashier stand and some seating area. So the interior is just significantly better than the second one, as well as the outside with the Krusty Krab sign is a lot nicer as well. In terms of minifigures, we get SpongeBob, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs. Now they all look really good other than Squidward, who instead of having that amazing molded face, he has this terrifying face print, which has got to be one of the worst face prints of all time. Well, it is really accurate, it just looks super creepy. And we also get Plankton trying to steal the formula. Not only that, this is one of the best price per pot ratios for the theme, and it's definitely the best Krusty Krab build, and as that's probably the second most iconic location, it definitely deserves to be this high up on the list. And coming in first place to no one's surprise, we have another 2006 set. We have Adventures in Bikini Bottom, which was the original SpongeBob house build, but this one also comes with Squidward's house as well as Patrick's house. So because of that, I love it a lot more. It's also the biggest SpongeBob set of all time, as well as being a really good price. So the build for SpongeBob and Squidward's house are pretty much the same as the other sets, so they look just as good. We do also get an interior for both of them. We do get a simple interior for SpongeBob, which has a basketball hoop for some reason. And we also do get his bed, I believe. Although I do prefer the interior for the Good Neighbors set, I still think overall when you factor in Squidward's house as well as Patrick's house, this makes it a lot more appealing to me, as this is the first and only time we actually get Patrick's house in LEGO form, which can actually open up and it has a TV and a chair, which I love. And not only that, we also get Patrick's boat, which is in the other sets, as well as a jellyfish catcher and thrower. And then in terms of minifigures, we get the three main characters of SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick, all of which look great other than Squidward being terrifying again. So overall, these houses are the most iconic location from the show. And this is also the only set to get all three of them in. And the builds all look really good, although once again, being from 2006, they're all a bit rough around the edges sometimes. But this is still definitely the ultimate SpongeBob set, although I do wish we got a combination of this set and the Good Neighbors set, as the improvements in the build as well as Squidward would make for the perfect set. And that is it for my ranking of every single LEGO SpongeBob set. Let me know what you think of this list, and most importantly, let me know which ones are your favourite sets from this theme. This is definitely one of the themes I want to return the most. I would absolutely love a LEGO Icon SpongeBob houses, especially if they were fully enclosed style and super detailed. So hopefully one day this theme will return in some form or another. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe. I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.